No. All right, y'all. Welcome back to another episode. We are entering an interesting point of Bitcoin's life on Bitcoin futures. We got a kind of a bearish movement. As you can see here, there's an upswing. Oops, just making sure y'all are on. There's a bearish upswing that happens in 2020, and it ends here. Ends here, it comes back up, comes back down again, because the reason why I look at this upswing, when the second upswing is higher than the first, and the RSI indication goes down between the first and second upswing, that tells me there's a negative momentum happening in the future. And that happens a lot in not only Bitcoin, but the stock market. I just noticed on personal, this is just my own personal research. This is not like any kind of advice, but this happens a lot in not only Bitcoin, but as you can see, the US 500. It's started around the 2020, comes up, down, and then even lower here. And usually when it gets around this point, around like the 70s to 60s, this whole area is a really gray area. When it starts to pick back up again, it sets a new all-time high on the candlestick chart. The RSI kind of goes from up all the way down. These are all great check marks to say that, you know what, this bullish cycle is going down. So I sold all my stocks once it hit around the 14,500 range. Sold about 90% of my stocks, and now I'm just waiting on the waiting game. So usually when I look at trends on a lower time frame, I look at, so we'll go back to Bitcoin, and I'll show you when actually is a good time to reinvest. Now, check out this daily. Hits an all-time low on the RSI, 20.26, then it goes to 28.75. Now, 20.31. So there is still more momentum needed to go downwards. There hasn't been exactly, let's go back to the weekly, I'll show you. The weekly is where it's at, y'all. The weekly is the best for me to understand my own strategy, understand my own the patterns. It's just more consistent. I don't like looking at dailies too much, but as you can see, there was an all-time low at this point, and the RSI is kind of trickling down. It hasn't really decided when it's gonna hit rock bottom. And I like to look at these upswings that happen here. I like these upswings, and it hasn't upswinged yet, so I'm still waiting. This is just a very interesting time. The RSI is hit flat rock bottom, hasn't picked up yet, nor does it want to, because Bitcoin is just overbought. It's just an overbought trend line that I understand it to be. Now, this isn't any kind of like advice. Again, just this is just what I like to look at, and what I'm just trying to explain what I find personally to understand the patterns. I'm just trying to understand it because I'm new, so this is all new to me. Anyways, so I did a couple trades on not just last week, but on Sunday. I did a interesting trade here. I took the price to 19,400 and I sold it at 19,124. Now I did that because I'll tell you why. If I go back to the 1 hour, this was yesterday, so the 3rd of July, I saw this kind of upswing that happened here, and then this upswing, you know, when it goes up, down, it goes down, up, down, and it stops here. And I noticed at this point, at 3 o'clock on the 1st of July, it was a good indication that there was going to be an upswing. So I held off my trade, yet it goes back down, and I was waiting for it to go back up again. When it went up, it went so far up that it went to the positive side of the 3 hour, and that's when I put in my trade. So I put in my trade at was around 19,400, and it was just like a silly like little bump up, but yeah, it was like 19,400, and then I sold around 19,140, and that was a good 8% return. Now, it wasn't a strong trade because I like to look at the daily, and for really strong trades, I like to wait for the daily to hit over that 80 mark, and this tells me it's now overbought in the bear cycle, and it's a good time to invest in selling short. That's what I tell myself. So then if you look at now, it's not really a great time because it's still kind of in this blue area, meaning it can, you know, go up or down, and it's not really overbought yet, but it needs to continue oscillating, which means it needs to continue going up, down, up, down. The question is, when is it going to stop? So the farther away from it is in this kind of over 80 area, the less strong of a trade it is to sell short. And so from the daily, then I look at the 3 hour, and I like to actually feed off the 3 hour because it usually doesn't like, you know, to go past the Bollinger Band. And I think this is the only time that it did on the 30th of May. It kind of just went crazy. Gained around 2,000, 3,000 in value. And percentage wise, it gained, let's see, a good, wow, 7% just in that day. So yeah, that would be the only exception. And in the RSI, you know, I would probably have gone in a bit earlier. I think I lost a bit of money here actually, and you know, here might happen the same way, but I'm willing to take that risk. So I took a trade at 19,400, and at 10x, put in about 50%. Now I'm just waiting for it to either stop there and just continue going down, and now I'm just looking for a 10% gain. I'm not looking for anything greedy, because that's why I like to keep my limits. When I start getting greedy, when I start looking over 10%, I always end up losing that amount. It always ends up just not working out for me. So I want to, you know, just be conservative with this trades. It's just the most important thing to do. So I hope you guys learned a bit already. Let me know if you have any questions in the comments. I just started this new channel, and you know, it's still a bit new, but yeah, let me know. Again, there's a lot of interesting stuff to talk about that I know I haven't shared yet, and again, like it's a new channel. I'm trying to convert, you know, all that cash that I did from recycling into Bitcoin to trade it into futures, and then turn that into an institution. Just trying to teach y'all how to make a living with permaculture. So that's just the way I want to do it. Anyways, thanks y'all for watching. Subscribe, hit that notification bell. See y'all.